Good morning, everybody. I hope
Is it
you
done
have.
already?
Yeah, I told you it was only a minute. It was only a minute
You
long.
told me 2 minutes.
No, no, I said a minute. I found another one that was
No,
only a
wait.
minute. And you're like, oh, yeah, it's fine.
No.
I
You said
swear.
two.
No, I
You
said,
said two.
no, I swear I said one.
You
I said it was only 1 minute.
said,
It's very short. And you're like, that's fine. And I was like, you sure? You're like, yeah. I swear I
you said
told you.
two.
You must have misheard because I know
No.
I said one. I looked at it
Nope.
and I laughed and I was like,
Nope.
it's only a minute long. Mm,
No. You told me
mm.
two.
No, I said one.
Uh,
I know I said one.
I mean,
I'm
we can fill this
forgetful.
normal time with us
Oh
bickering.
yeah, that's true. Hello, good morning, everyone. I am not gaslighting Kumo. Sit your ass down. Good morning,
I
everybody.
know, right? Emma? She's so mean to me.
I know what I said. uh, but good morning, everybody. I'm glad everyone's having a very energetic morning. Because I was very excited to do this idea that even our audience can participate in. And
Yeah.
that is if we would survive a horror film. And now listen, I I know myself, Abby knows herself. We're going to be honest
Mhm.
on whether or not we're going to survive this horror situation, horror situations.
Yeah.
Okay? So, I'm super stoked to do this because there are several films where I think we could get into in-depth topics as well as Kuma if he
Mhm.
wants to join us in knowing these different topics. Um,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, I guess I'll do the reminder. Unfortunately, we will not be doing our stream next week or the weekend after because we're both doing stuff.
You're doing stuff, and then there's Ayla after that.
Yeah, AWA is important because that's your stuff. And
Yeah, I got a cosplay to debut.
yeah, I know. I'm so
Not
excited.
cosplay.
I'm so excited.
We
Uh,
need to finish it.
it is down to the wire at this point. Yeah.
I mean, there's not much left. We have to attach two things to the core, and then we have like props that we're making as well, which are a couple of circles, some tubes, maybe a few pom poms, and that's it.
Mm.
So it's not that bad at all.
Kumo, 2 weeks riot. I'm sure you all have good two Sundays
I
without
would
us.
offer to like stream AWA, but let's just be really fucking honest about the internet and
Oh, at the
cell
AWA,
service there.
yes, at the
AWA, like, it's
conference
gonna get
center.
fucked.
It is insane. Not every place has a good internet service. I'm sorry, and I wouldn't
Yeah.
stream the festival that I'm going to because I'm going to be drunk most of the time. So sorry, not doing that. Can't do that. Um.
Yeah.
So yes. So sorry. Horror films. I think we've talked about like name horror films badly. Last year.
Yeah, that was really funny last
I
year.
really hope you like. I'm glad everyone enjoyed that. But other than that, let's remind everybody: are you a big
Yeah.
horror fan, or are you like selective in your
Um,
tastes?
I'm selective in my taste because I'm not like a fan of overarching horror. Like, I don't like gore or body horror, so I'm not interested in Saw. Um,
Oh yes.
even though I like the analytical breakdown
Mm-hmm.
of movies like that, I usually watch someone like CZ's World,
Oh, okay.
for like an explanation and kind of like the history of specific characters throughout the franchise and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I can't really get into body horror.
Mm. I think it's body horror to an extent. Like I
Yeah.
like, for example, I really like the body horror in Hellraiser.
Okay.
Because it's body horror, but it's well done. Um, or The Thing, because again,
Okay.
very very amazing body horror with
Hey,
practical
Rosie,
effects.
we may need to throw up spoiler just in case.
Okay, I can do that. Um, Let me try and hold up. It's gonna be a little bit.
No, you're good.
I haven't added that to
Um,
my roster of things I need to do. Uh, Nauseum. Hi. Also, Nauseum.
I Nakium.
Have you seen the original Hellraiser? Because I already have opinions on the new one. Ages and ages ago. Okay, I, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but my personal opinion for the new Hellraiser is they look like aliens, and that's all I'm gonna say. All right, bye. uh,
Yeah, well, like we can briefly talk about it because I have seen trailers for it because I watch a lot of YouTube on my
mm-hmm.
TV. Can't always skip trailers, so I did end up seeing a trailer for it. The what is it? The pinheads or whatever they're
They're
actually called.
Cenobites. Yes.
The Cenobites don't look that scary. Like they really don't. Like the original ones kind of looked like unsettling. I
Okay.
wouldn't necessarily say scary, but unsettling. Like there's something off about them. These guys don't look that scary at all.
Oh my God.
They're
Okay.
not.
So again, I watched it, and the whole point is like the original had like these has to be approached with a certain degree of jank and camp. I don't want to spoil too much, but I don't like the main character, not because of the themes that they're tackling in this film, because that it's I understand why they did that. Like I get it as a different theme to what the original was, which is like a more like sexual what is it gratification that the sexual pleasures or whatever that he's seeking the like the main villain character is seeking, and they're like, oh no, there is no difference between pain and pleasure at that point, you know, with the thrills or whatever. In this situation, in a new one, I do not like the main character. And all I'm going to say is she's so fucking stupid. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. That is all I'm going to say. I didn't quite enjoy the new Hellraiser at all as much as the classic.
Yeah.
But I think it's because it was oh, you know what? We'll start with that. And
Okay.
if I was in the new Hellraiser film, I would definitely survive.
Hmm.
And that's saying something because like I just mm-mm. But if I was in the old Hellraiser film, like the classic
Yeah.
Hellraiser, I may also survive, but like in a different sense. Because
Yeah.
I love puzzle boxes. Like, you know, or I like puzzles, so I could survive with that, but I would leave without a few scars. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas in the new Hellraiser, I would not make stupid decisions. That's all I'm gonna say. What about you for classic Hellraiser?
Never seen it.
Oh shit. Okay, so you're given a puzzle box. Would you
Okay.
would you try and solve it, or would you be like, nah, I'm good?
Am I aware of the consequences of solving the
No,
puzzle box?
no. Well, if you're like a new character, okay, here's the question: if you're a new character
Okay.
and they're like, if you solve this box, you will reach pleasures beyond your imagination. That's your winning prize. Would you take it? And pleasures being like thrills,
Physical
sexual
pleasure?
thrills. Yeah.
Okay.
Would you take it?
Uh, Probably not.
Yeah, same. Not for me. That's not something I like seek out in life. So I think that's why I would survive.
Yeah.
Because I like puzzle boxes, but they're like, it's not worth it for me. It's just not. Now,
Yeah.
if the big prize was you can receive a lot of plushies for solving this box, then fuck yeah. Give me them plushies. But that's why I feel like
For you, food.
exactly. Because even the final girl in Hellraiser, you know, she solved the box without knowing what was going on. But she did it because like, if I was in her position, I would have done it too. Because she saw someone
Right.
from her past rise back from the dead. So, you know,
Mm.
and it involved that box. So I'd be like, what the fuck is this box and why is he up back from the dead? So I understand why she tried to solve it. It made sense to me.
Yeah.
Um, this is a man who made Midnight Meat Train. It's not Criterion material. I just don't like it. I just don't like it. All right. Next film. That was a good segue, though. Good segue.
Yeah.
So the next film I want to ask, we're going classics first, okay?
Yeah.
would you survive in the Alien franchise? Or like I guess the first Alien film. We'll go with the first films instead of like the sequels. Would you
Okay,
survive
yeah.
Alien?
Yeah, because I'm a cat lover.
Oh, that's
I'm a woman and
true.
I'm a cat lover.
That is true. Hmm.
Mm.
I feel like I love cats as well, but if the cat isn't going to save me and it was just my wits, I would probably die. Like, I
Yeah.
love cats, but if we're going cat logic, of course I'd live because I'm going to be surrounding myself with
Yeah.
cats. But in a situation where, like, because a lot of it you have to be quiet, and I'm
Yeah.
not quiet, I freak out.
Yeah, you can't shut the fuck up.
Yes. And, in my opinion, I would hide in like the vents or something, but, the alien goes in the vents to walk around and stuff. So
Right.
I would feel so fucked. And
I feel like on a more like analytical level, like I think I would survive because it's like I don't have a problem. I feel like Sigourney Weaver's character
mm-hmm.
would actually be a good commander, and I
Mm,
would more likely listen to her because like I got a problem with authority figures that are pieces of shit.
that's true. And I also want to say, okay, not all the characters, but a lot of the characters in the film were smart. Some of them just had bad luck,
Yeah.
but a lot of the film characters
Yeah,
were
like
smart.
what's his name? John Hurt.
Yes, 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 yes. Um, so I can see why a lot of even the smart characters would die. So I
Yeah.
feel like, in my personal opinion, Alien would be a hard movie to survive in. Like,
Fair.
it would just be because you're dealing with something so unknown with a bunch of smart people, like scientists and stuff. But
Yeah.
Sigourney Weaver in that film kicks ass. She is like the
Absolutely.
smartest character in that film, for
But
sure.
yeah, she's a woman and she has a cat. So
Mm-hmm.
like 100% guarantee I would survive.
Mm-hmm. Okay, the film Halloween.
Michael Myers?
Yes, not the second
Hmm.
film, but the first one.
Oh
Yes,
girl, there's so
I
many
know.
Halloween movies and they all unfortunately the entire Halloween franchise has at least 3 different timelines.
Oh yeah, it's really bad.
It's really bad.
I know.
It's really bad.
I feel like
So I
yes.
again haven't seen it, but as who I am in this day and age, at my age, I feel like I do have a chance of surviving
First of all, it's literally
because
just a
I'm not
stalker who kills people on
right.
Halloween. He's big, he's slow, he's there like he's there for dramatic effect. Like
He's magical as well, technically. He's imbued with
well, and
Owen magic.
yes and no. In
Um,
one timeline he is, and the other is not so much. That's what's so bizarre. Cuz in the original timeline, he's not imbued with magic, but they made him imbued with magic. It's so bizarre. So we're just talking first film, no magic, simple stalker guy who's big, who kills people and strong.
he kills his family, is what it is.
Yeah. Well, Laurie Strode wasn't his
No, he
family
is
member.
after his family, but he ends up killing other people as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because in the
And a
first
lot of
film,
those people that he ends up killing in the first film are horny teenagers.
yes,
So like it's one of those things that's like as long as I'm
or old
not around
ladies.
that house, um, and I'm not a horny teenager and I'm not related to him, I feel like I do have a much higher chance of surviving. Yes, he is like a serial killer, he will kill at random, but that's kind like again, it's horny teenagers and family, his family,
Okay, I will.
and those that get in the way of his family.
Oh yes, because again, Laurie Strode wasn't his family member at the time, but they made her a family member later on in the films. But as like a basic stalker, like you said, he killed his family. Of course, we saw that, and the horny teenagers. And there was also a old couple that he murdered just cause. Um, then yes, I agree. I think I
Weren't
could
they in his
survive.
house though?
No, they weren't in his house. Or were they in his house? I don't think they were in his
I'm
house.
pretty sure they were in his house.
I don't know if. Oh, you know what? You might be right. I think you're right.
Hmm.
Um.
So
So.
again, it's like as long as I'm not in the house or around the house, as
Mhm.
long as I'm not a horny teenager getting it on Halloween night and I'm not his family member, I have a very high
Yeah, I was
chance
like,
of
we're good. We're
surviving.
we're good. Yeah, for sure. We're fine. Um. Okay. So
Because
it.
we got sins. You're not white, and I grew up like around the hood, so it's like, oh, shit's happening. We're not going over
That's one way to put it. Yeah.
there.
um. So yes, I think I would survive Halloween with Michael Myers.
Yeah, I think not 100%, but like a really good chance of
Hmm.
surviving because it is Michael Myers.
Now, for another classic film, I was gonna say It, but we're gonna put a pin in that. I want to talk The Nightmare on Elm Street.
Ooh,
Would you survive Nightmare on Elm Street? Psychologically?
haven't seen it,
Okay. You
but
know the premise, right?
well, like, yeah, I do know the premise, but I know he does target a lot of teenagers. That's the problem with a lot of the classic horror films is that, like, especially like the
All
iconic
right.
classic horror films,
If you
they're
were
all target teenagers.
if you were one of the teenagers that he's targeting,
Yeah.
would you survive?
Probably not, honestly.
I agree. I feel
Because if I
like
recall correctly, it's supposed to be dealing with like some really, really dark stuff, like internal stuff with each person.
mhm.
Um,
See, Kumo gets it. No one
and
survives Nightmare on Elm Street. If he targets you, it's over.
mhm,
Because if you're in your dreams, you're fucked. If you
yeah,
try to stay
yeah,
awake, you're psychologically
you're fucked.
fucked. So I feel like Jason was by far one of the most OP horror people.
Jason,
Why did
try
I say
that again.
Jason? Freddy.
Yeah.
Freddy. I'm thinking Freddy versus Jason. That's why.
I was about
But
to say,
Freddy.
if it's a Freddy versus Jason movie, there's a like not a like a 50%, but like there is a small possibility of surviving in a Jason versus Freddy movie.
Yeah, because they're fighting them
Um,
amongst themselves. But I do think that
yeah,
Freddy was one of the most OP horror villains
hmm,
in any
yeah,
horror franchise because you have to sleep. You're forced to sleep.
yeah.
Although the only people I see surviving that are people who literally cannot dream.
Oh yeah, okay.
We I know you dream. I dream. I dream a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah.
But
Oh yeah, you really do.
uh I yeah, you see I have very vivid dreams, so I'm fucked. But I know you dream too, so we're fucked. But there are people who cannot or do not dream. And that to me, I feel like is their ace in the hole. Everyone's dreams though,
See,
everyone
that's
remembers
the
what they've
thing. I
proven,
feel
everyone
like
dreams.
people who can lucid dream, who actually have complete control over their dreams, actually have a better chance of surviving.
Oh, you think like if they flip the coin on the other side.
Yeah.
Hmm. That's true. I can lucid dream, but not to like I feel like I'd poop my pants if I saw Freddy.
Well, like I can lucid dream too, but it takes me a minute to realize that, like, to
I
I don't
mean,
know, be self-aware enough
yeah.
to be lucid. It's like, oh hey, I'm dream like I am dreaming. I am in this fantasy world. Blah blah blah. Oh wait, I actually have control over this.
Yes,
I think that would be too late for me.
I feel like no matter how good you are with lucid dreaming, he's going to beat you with experience. Yes and no. But again, this is talking first film. Definitely not. Like
Yeah, first
obviously,
film.
no. But
Later films, yeah, I
yes,
would agree. Like at that point,
because there
you're
have been
fucked.
like what they call the dream warriors or whatever, who are like lucid dreamers who can fight in the dream world and stuff. So I can understand that for sure.
Yeah,
But in the classic first one, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I would die. I would die. I'd be the first to die.
yeah.
Fuck that. Um, unless, but that's just me. Okay. The Descent. Have you heard of The
Is
Descent?
that the spelunking one?
Yes.
Which one is that? Is that the one with like quote unquote vampires, like prehistoric vampires?
Something like that. Yes.
I haven't seen it, and it's been a really, really long time since I've like seen a trailer for it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't personally know. I
Personally,
would
no.
not be okay with that.
I was about to
Like
say,
I wouldn't even put myself in that situation.
personally, no, myself, and I have seen the movie, and this is
Mm.
why. Let's say I am a master spelunker, okay, like these characters are,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. Okay.
I still won't be able to survive because I'm terrified of the dark. And they are like the vampire. They're not really vampires. They're just humanoid moleman monster things that live in the caves in
Yeah.
the dark who have no
Yeah.
eyes and they can sense everything. They would have a huge advantage. And they play this well in the
Yeah.
film. They would have a huge advantage in the dark. And I'm terrified of the dark. So I would not be able to survive that. That's why I don't go spelunking anyway. Like that's my problem. If given the choice, I would never go spelunking. Because like
Yeah,
their
like
lights go off, I will freak out, and then you're in a tight enclosed dark space. I would probably freak out. I would die, and I'd make a lot of noise,
yeah,
and I would die.
I don't like unknown areas.
Mm-hmm.
So like spelunking, like super enclosed. Like I'm not claustrophobic, but like that super enclosed, unknown space of complete darkness would probably make me freak out really, really bad.
Mm-hmm. No, I can understand that too. Oh, Kumo's got one on the subject of Friday the 13th. Though I would survive, no issue. I agree. I feel like when it comes to Friday the 13th, I could also survive, and this is why. Because
That's
Jason,
Jason Voorhees, right?
yes, Jason, that's the Jason one.
I get Michael, I get Jason, I get Fred. Like all of those get
Mixed up
mixed
because
up
they were in like the
with the
golden age of
franchise.
like of slasher films.
Yeah,
Um,
their franchise gets mixed up in my head, though their look or I don't get their looks mixed up. I know who is who, but franchise.
so no, I understand that. So this is the thing: I can survive if I'm not a fucking camp counselor or a horny teenager, because people don't
It's always
realize
a horny
it's
teenager.
always the horny teenagers. But people don't realize that Jason actually has like a moral code because he sees like people having sex as a sin. Well, for reasons, because it was the horny teenagers
Yeah,
that killed him in the first place, or like he drowned and stuff. Um,
yeah.
but you have to go camp at his lake and be a cold day in hell before you catch me camping. I've camped before, like I've camped in cabs and stuff before, but I feel
I've
like
camped often.
yeah, I feel like he's very selective. Like he has a
Yeah,
vendetta against camp counselors and horny teens, but especially camp counselors because you know,
yeah,
first film, actually first film spoilers are up. First film it's the mom,
yeah,
right? So you
yeah.
have a deranged mom who kind of sort of would kill these kids because of what they did for vendetta.
Mm.
I wouldn't be a camp counselor. I would just be
Yeah,
I would be like what is it? Just a camper enjoying my life somewhere.
yeah.
Chelsea and I will be safe in the cities while you all die camping. Oh gosh. But in agreement, I do think that I could survive a Friday the 13th film. If we're talking first films, definitely. Because it's just a um what is it? Mentally ill woman, essentially. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So I think I could survive. What say you?
I think I could survive as well.
Mm.
Like again, it's like I wouldn't be a camp counselor. I wouldn't be a horny teenager. It's like, nah,
Okay.
not me, fam, not me.
The next one are two meta films, okay? First
Okay.
one is Scream. Do you think you'd survive Scream?
Um, I want to say I don't think so, honestly.
I wouldn't, because if they're
Because
doing horror movie tropes, a person
yeah,
of color always dies in horror movie tropes. I hate
yeah.
to say it. Person of color always dies in a horror movie trope. I would probably die in Scream, or they will try and kill me off because I'm a person of color. If they're
I
following
mean,
that
that's
trope.
sound logic for
Yeah,
you.
that's sound logic for me. So more than
Yeah.
likely, if it's like hand to hand, yes, I think I'd
Mhm.
survive because they're just as human as us. But
Yeah.
If they're following horror movie tropes, nah, I'm dead.
I don't the reason why I don't think I would survive is because they are teenagers, white male teenagers. So they like I think the casualties are much higher.
Yeah,
This may get us in trouble. I'm very sorry, but it's just they have no sense because they're teenagers
that's true.
and they're that unfortunate like American trope or of white males thinking that they're entitled to something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's just I feel like I think the only for me and you the only way we could survive if we had nothing if we weren't even remotely near the area.
Oh yeah.
We weren't near the
Mm-hmm.
house, we weren't near the school. Like if we were in the same town though, we might have a chance, but like that's not a guarantee.
I would not be friends with Cindy
Yeah.
because that's Cindy. Was it Cindy? Cindy?
Yeah.
Cindy and her friends. They're all the ones that died because of Cindy's mom.
Yeah.
And I would not be friends with her. I'd be like, no, sorry, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna put myself in that position.
Yeah, I'm too antisocial, so I don't
Oh,
think
that's true.
I would be in that
That's
friend
true.
group.
That's true.
If as an adult I
Yeah.
wouldn't be anywhere near that, but
No,
as a
that's true.
teenager I'm too antisocial,
Us
so
being antisocial is the ace in the hole. We're
yep.
too much of a hermit. We won't go to house parties. We don't do that shit.
Yeah,
I won't get stuck in a garage door.
exactly.
Oh, fuck yeah, fuck yeah. Okay.
It's like we go out like in later times we go out to like a showing
Yeah.
and it's just like wrong vibes. It's like deuces were bouncing.
Oh, that's true. Okay. Cabin in the Woods, the other meta movie.
The iconic. I
I
actually really enjoyed it.
I do
It
too.
was weird and took time to grow on me, but like I actually I really like it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. And hear me out. Like they had so many different setups,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
if we didn't pick what they had picked, like who knows what we would have picked. So who knows? Like I don't think so. I think the odds are so against us.
Right. No, I agree. But this is my thing. And maybe this is the only way I would survive. Okay.
Yeah.
In the film, there is one particular guy who smokes pot.
Okay. The stoner, yeah.
I would probably be that guy.
Okay, but you
That
are
would be
aware
me.
that the only reason that the toxins weren't like working on him was because he was so
Smoking.
fucking stoned.
Yes, exactly. That would be me. If I'm stuck in a
I don't
cabin in the
think you've
woods,
ever gotten that stoned before.
uh, you haven't met me until recently. Like in my first few years, like yes, I have. That's how I
So
know.
that like key time, like that key age of what they're looking for, like their early to mid 20s.
Mm-hmm.
If we were that age,
Come on, don't, I don't want to even talk about it. But yes, when I was a younger college student, I should say, when I was a younger college student, I'm in my 30s now, I
yeah,
would get high with a lot of people.
yeah,
I also, if I would travel to places that is legal, I should say, I would also get high
legal.
because,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah. And that's the only way, that's the only reason. Because if any chance I get, I'd be like, yeah, let's get high. And in a cabin in the woods, fuck yeah. But that's the only reason. I also believe, and this is my thing, in the
Okay.
film, he was the only one who was the stoner. People thought, he was dumb, he's stoned, all this stuff. He was the only one who could hear and see the changes happening around him. Like
Because he wasn't affected by it.
exactly, he wasn't affected by it, but because he was a stoner, people didn't believe him because he portrayed the fool, obviously, as the trope. People didn't
I
believe him.
don't.
So I would be like,
I
I might survive, but I will try to convince everyone else, like, hey, something's up. And y'all may not believe me because, you'll be like,
I
ah,
think
she's high.
in portion, it wasn't that he was I think the scientists or the lab technicians, whatever you want to call them,
Yeah.
the agents, I really don't know what to call them, um, considered him a fool was because he is so stoned. I think his friends didn't believe them because they were so intoxicated,
Mm-hmm.
affected, drugged
Mm-hmm.
up.
Drugged up.
Yeah, that they couldn't believe him.
No. Yeah.
That they were so inhibited that they couldn't believe him.
Um, I'm sorry, I'm reading Kumo's thing. Surely what you meant by parent scholarships meant by higher education. Thank you, Kumo. I love that joke. Also, didn't the stoner die in the cabin in the woods anyways? They all died. In fact, the entire world essentially died because
Yeah,
of their mistake. So technically, yes, I guess I would die. Um,
yeah.
because of their
I
reason. Like you had,
do.
because
I
if
wish.
go ahead.
I wish it was just like a global franchise or whatever,
Hmm.
and we had different countries kind of doing their own horror tropes for the other like areas.
Hmm.
Um, because they talk about other locations that failed or are in the progress or whatever. I wish we could get that from other countries
Hmm.
and just have like this global franchise. I would love to see that, but
That'd be
that's
awesome. Yeah. So if you're saying you're as high as him, you would survive. It doesn't stand up. That's true. That's true. Nobody survives in that film. It only works once. I think it's very good though. The twist, the ending, all of that. I really love that film for sure. For sure. For sure.
I think the twist is fine. I would just like to see other countries' horror tropes
Hmm.
and kind of like how they would handle it. I'm
Mm.
not looking for a twist. Again, I I'm looking for extended universe. We know
Yeah.
that I
Yeah.
like extended universes and
Hmm.
very intertwined things. That's what I'm looking for with this.
It's a.
But
Sorry. Go
who
ahead.
knows? It may Cabin in the Woods may not have made it big international. So they
Oh yeah.
may um it may work.
It could work.
So who knows?
And also, I agree with Kumo. It is one of the best recent horror films because it
Yeah.
pays such like great homage to previous horror films as well,
Yeah.
and in a way that's just everyone can enjoy, like
And
everybody.
it's subtle in everything that it does. Like the really, really good stuff is extremely subtle. Like having Sigourney Weaver come in at the
Mm-hmm.
very end.
Yes, because you hear her voice, and if you know Sigourney
Yeah.
Weaver over the intercom, you're like, I recognize that voice. But then when you finally see her, it's like it's Sigourney Weaver. The heck? Also, if anyone has like the DVD or whatever and the special features, watch the behind the scenes because even the behind the scenes is so fun to watch in that film
Yeah.
because you see all of the practical effects, you see all the monsters that they used to shoot. Like it's so
Yeah.
good. It's such a fun film to watch. Like it's so fun. And you also see Thor in there acting and like in a way that's non-heroic. Well, I mean, a little heroic, but Thor. Fucking yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Chris Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth, yes.
Which apparently he filmed before he was Thor.
Yeah, he did. But it came after the Thor film.
Because of some kind of like weird delay that they
Yep.
had.
For the cabin in the woods. Yep, that's exactly what happened.
Hmm.
Um all right. So, would you survive the I don't want to say Resident Evil because maybe, but would you survive 28 days later?
Zombie film?
It's a
No.
zombie film, but it's fast zombies.
No. Yeah, no.
See,
I would probably never actually survive a zombie film.
I feel like I could survive a zombie film. Um, Personally, yes.
As an introvert, I have a chance, but just like
Yeah.
me personally, not liking zombies, probably not.
Oh, see, zombies don't bother me. Like, I'm not terrified of zombies. However,
Mm.
28 days later, they're like, zombies aren't slow. They'll fucking catch you. Yes, I would be
Mhm.
absolutely terrified if they start running. Because, like, because of my introverted ass, I don't run a lot. I
Yeah.
have zero cardio. Most of the time, I'm sitting in a chair. That does not work for me. So I would
Yeah.
say no to 28 Days Later, but yes to films like Dawn of the Dead, all that stuff. Slow zombies. Then yes.
Fair.
Okay. Would you survive it? I'll keep bringing it up and then I keep passing it. It.
Okay. Again, my only argument is um yes, because I would be an adult.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because like personally, I have never been that abused.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only reason why he targets them
It's not because
is because they are,
they're being bullied.
well, they have the shine, yeah, but they only have the shine because they've been abused that terribly.
Mm-hmm. See,
Um,
if I was put in
but
a
also
position,
I don't think it's every what, 17 years or something?
I thought it was like
27
20,
years?
27. I think it was like in the 20s for sure.
Yeah, it's like a weird number. Um, I was born in 91, so I don't think it would have happened. I
Okay,
don't
you know
think
what?
I would
That's
have
true.
fallen within that age range.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So
I can see
that's
that.
my argument for it.
My argument to because I agree. I think I would survive it. But
Yeah.
because again, if we're talking the most recent, you could win by
Yes.
literally roasting the fucking alien monster thing. That's how you win. You roast him to death. And bitch, you know how I could roast some people to death?
Oh
I
yeah,
fucking
we
roast
get
them to death.
Chelsea in this
We'd survive.
tacky ass mug buying shit from Hobby Lobby. Yeah, no.
And the thing of it is, it's like I understand how a lot of people, a lot because what the alien does is they use your trauma, your fear is against you, right?
Yeah.
I'm
Hmm.
just like, okay, bet. I already deal with these fears every fucking day because a lot of things I'm scared of are like everyday things like roaches and the dark. You can't use my fears against me. I have to deal with that shit every day. I'm okay with that.
I mean,
I
okay.
can conquer them.
So like, let me clarify. If I had you around, probably not, because you would sacrifice me to the
Oh,
roaches.
you know what? Yeah, bet. Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Together,
that's true.
probably not. By myself, probably.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's that. Mm, you know what? That's true. That's true.
All right, we need to start over. It's like, how likely are you to survive this with Ricey
Okay, no,
around?
no, no, no.
Probably not.
We're in two separate things. We're not together. I feel like I would cause a lot of
My
people's
wife has
deaths.
rejected me, guys.
Yes, I to save you. I rejected you so I could save you. Think about that.
Mm.
I would also survive all Stephen King stories because I never been to lived in Maine, Maryland. Yeah, that's true. That's the only way I'd survive. Um, let's see. I'm trying to think of a good one. Some of these are like fun films, like Happy Death Day.
That's not a fun film, ma'am.
Happy Death Day is when when she relives her thing over and over and over again and tried to figure out who's the killer. I would have
No.
survived that. I would survive it for sure. Because the only way to stop the loop, at least in the first film, oh well, technically she didn't stop the loop until the second film. But let's say you stop the loop in the first film. Being able to find out who your killer is, and you still die and wake up, trying to figure it out, you will eventually find out, right? If you're playing smart.
Yeah.
So I feel like that is a film that I think anyone could survive. It just takes a while.
Yeah.
Now it's the number of deaths that it takes to survive. You know what I mean? Um,
Fair.
so I believe that's a film that I think anyone can survive if you are playing smart and stuff. Now, how about, do you remember Cabin Fever?
No.
Okay. So, you're in a cabin in the woods. I keep getting cabin in the woods stuff.
Yeah.
You're in a cabin in the woods, except there's like this virus in the water that that could pretty much kill you in the most grotesque way. Grotesque way.
Yeah. Okay.
Would you think you would survive? I know I need to give a little bit more overview because it's in the water. In the water is what's contaminated, right? And if you're in the
Okay.
cabin, it uses the water. So, personally, if I was in that situation, maybe not, but maybe. And this is the reason. If my husband was with me, definitely I'd survive. If not, then no, I would die. Because my husband's a germaphobe and he has bottled water and stuff. Because he doesn't want to drink the water from like cabins and stuff. We get bottled water and stuff. So I think I would survive because my husband's a bit of a germaphobe. Without him, and so we wouldn't have to have the contaminated water. But without him, I'd die. Because I'd be like, it's fine.
I was
I'll
about
be
to
fine.
say it's like I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know because it's like I am someone that just will not drink water. I'm not the biggest fan of tap water, but I also know to like filter and boil water with very questionable origins, like
Mm-hmm.
rundown, janky ass cabins.
Yes, exactly. I can see that. That's why I'm like, I could, but I also may not be able to. So it really depends. Like, I don't trust a lot of things in the water anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, here's one.
Um,
Go ahead.
so I'm gonna ADHD for a second.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
remember how I was talking to you like on Friday? I'm like, there's this horror movie that's done by this director that did like this um horror short on YouTube, and that it has like references to the short in the feature film. And this reference was actually kind of popular on Vine for a minute with the lights turning off. Not the lights turning off.
Yes. And
Someone
then,
would be down a hallway, turn it off. Someone would appear at the end of the hallway. They'd turn the lights on and they'd
mm-hmm.
disappear. I know like Logan Paul was one of the ones that like had one that went viral. I'm stupid as fuck. It's called Lights
It's
Out.
like, yeah, I was about to say it's in the list, lights out.
Yeah. That's the one I've been trying to think of. That's one I like. I don't remember why we were talking about it, but that's what I was trying to tell you.
Yeah, lights. I see. I think I would survive lights out because again, I'm scared of the dark,
Because
and I
it's
always
about
carry light.
depression, isn't it?
In a way, yes.
Yeah.
But again, I'm a fucking wimp. I don't go out in the dark without a light ever, ever, ever,
Yeah.
ever, ever, ever. For that reason. So I think because I'm such a fucking coward of the dark, I could survive that. But that's the only reason.
Yeah.
That is the only reason. Um,
Um,
but yes, lights out. You think you'd survive?
I don't know. I don't think I know enough about the movie per se to
Yeah.
actually like. And I told you like I couldn't remember which YouTube person I was watching that talked about it. I'm pretty sure now that I'm seeing the title cover that it was CZ's World.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't fully remember enough about it.
Yeah.
I'd give myself a 50% chance of surviving it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because like I don't like walking around in the dark, but like I love having like a completely black bedroom.
Oh yeah, yeah. I usually so I when I'm asleep, then yes, I don't mind, but that's probably how they're gonna get me. Um,
Yeah.
but like even when I was younger, I had to have like some kind of night light because that dark's terrible. I think
Yeah.
it's what's in the dark that terrifies me. But I always carry around my phone light all the time, every day, as bright as it can.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, that's probably why I would survive. Um, okay, I have a film for you.
Okay.
Classic, The
All
Ring.
right. I love The Ring so much.
You die. You fucking die. You'd watch the video and you'd be like, ooh, how this is artistic expression.
Yeah. It's like I would be like, "Hey, Ricey, watch this with me. Let's
No, fuck
like
that
critically
shit.
analyze this."
Fuck that shit.
Um, I don't know. Are we talking about The Ring, the American adaptation, or Ringu, the traditional Japanese 1980s film?
I think the premise in terms of how it's watched and how you can pass the curse along to others by sharing the tape is the same. So,
Right, but
for
the
both.
outcome to how you get like out of that is different.
I thought the outcome was you share the tape for both.
You share the tape, yes, but it actually progresses further than that, that it doesn't like necessarily guarantee your survival
Okay.
in the Japanese.
Oh, I didn't know that. So yeah, no, I would go with the American just because I
Um,
would survive that. Because let's be
because
honest, we
you
would
would get someone else to watch it.
yes, because I'd be like,
Who would you get to watch it?
I don't know, someone who would enjoy it. Like, and what I mean by enjoy is if you saw the tape the way that it was, it's creepy and everything. But there are some people who would like that. You know, some
Yeah.
buffs who would be like, oh, this is actually kind of nice, kind of thing. And when I get the call,
Actually, I have an idea.
hmm
I think I would. And here's like this. Can you throw up a trigger warning for me real quick?
yes, give me just a second before you continue. I just have to do it real quick. Um, oh shit, my bad. Also, while I'm doing that, read Kumo's comment because they need to know.
Ah, I
Yeah.
mean, that's a fair point,
Yep.
but hear me out. I think the best way to handle the ring is you said you got trigger warning up for me?
I'm about to. I'm about to. Hold up.
Okay.
And hold up. Let me minimize spoilers here. All right, I put it on the bottom.
Okay.
There we go.
So this is about to get really heavy, and this probably is extremely controversial. Um,
There we go.
America is notoriously terrible about this, but other European countries are actually more accommodating about this. Um, but humane euthanasia.
Oh.
Um, for those that have terminal diseases and don't want to have to suffer through this.
Mm.
Yeah, like the American horror, like it's not as bad in like Ringo, but like the American horror does make it very violent looking.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that would be the only ethical way that I could handle passing off the curse to somebody.
Oh yeah. If we're talking ethically, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
Um, and that's why I really wanted to get that trigger warning up.
Yeah. Oh, I got it up. It's in the bottom.
It's yeah, but yeah, it's a very watch me make something like way more like deep than it needs to be. But I feel like that depending on how gruesome it actually is, that's the only ethical way I could pass on the curse. And
Mm.
I would be able to survive the ring.
Hmm. I wasn't thinking ethics, but yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
My dumbass is like, oh, I shared the tape and didn't realize that it would kill me, kind of thing. Know what I mean?
Yeah. No, you would know that it would kill you. because you get that call that you die in 7 days.
Oh, no, they just says 7 days. It's the rumor that tells
Is
you you
it?
die. Yeah, because they'll call you and they'll just say 7 days. 7 days to what? For the return of the film? I already know that. I rented it out of Blockbuster
I think that's what's confusing me is that like in Ringu, it's like you have 7 days
to live.
to live.
Yeah. No, and the American one, I think they just say it's 7 days. So I'm just like, all right, bet. I don't answer unknown numbers. Okay, yeah, that's also true. But this was that
Yeah,
was in
block
the
those
time of
numbers.
landlines. Again, it was a time of landlines and VHS tapes. I highly doubt that the ring would live up, just like Kumo said, in this day and age. Either it would be spread
Yeah.
like wildfire, or it would probably be tucked away somewhere in a warehouse because it is a VHS tape.
Actually, they do kind of address like this is why like I really like I watched um so I either read the Ringu first or I watched the Ring first
Mm-hmm.
and then I got into Ringu 2
Ah, yeah.
and then there is like Twist and then Spiral and they actually do address the curse progressing in a more modern age.
Mm.
That it does end up turning into like a computer virus.
Hmm.
It gets really like unnecessary and excessive.
Right.
They
But
really
at
should have ended it after like Ringu 2, but they do actually address it.
okay, because I was about to say everything gets kind of excessive after a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
So after if you put too many, all right, I'll take off the trigger warning
Yeah.
here because I got the next
You got
film.
the next one?
Yes. Would you survive the Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Probably not because I'm I'm so out of shape. I would have a higher chance of surviving longer than you because I am the white complexion,
I was about to
the
say
pasty ass complexion.
this is
But
the
like
only
in all honesty, probably not.
okay. This is the only reason why I would maybe survive
Mhm.
because the sheriff may not like me because of maybe this is a little
Yeah,
racist thing to say, but I feel like he would be a little racist being from a small country or small town.
yeah.
So the sheriff
From
at
Texas, yeah.
from Texas, I already have because of my own experiences
Mhm.
skepticism of police authority. Let's just say from my
Yeah.
experience growing up in a southern town. So immediately my defenses would be up, and if the sheriff asked for to help me, I'd be like, no, thank you. I'm fine. I'm good. I'm Gucci.
Yeah.
Because especially if I know I'm in Texas and
Mhm.
there's a sheriff there and they're like, do you need any help, ma'am? No, thank you. I'm good. I don't want to go anywhere near you.
I
I'm
was about
fine.
to say, I think that's the only way me and you would actually survive is just be like, Texas, nah, thanks, we're
Thank you.
good.
Because it's in Texas. I have to like I already know.
Just completely
It's a
avoid it. Just
small
like,
town
nah.
in Texas. And I would be like, no, thank you, kind sir. I'm fine. Because first of
I
all,
wouldn't even go
I
through
don't think
Texas. I'd be like, fuck it, I'm gonna take the long ass way around.
maybe
Ain't
that
gonna be much
I
different.
was about to say, I'm just gonna in my brain I'm be like, maybe this cop is a little racist because I'm in a small town in Texas. He may
Mhm.
not like me very much. So I'd be like, no, thank you. Do not cause trouble for him. He won't cause trouble for me. That kind of deal. And I'd
Yeah.
move along, move along, move along. And I think that's the only way I would
Man.
survive is if I just refuse help from said sheriff.
I just refuse to go to Texas. Like
And I
I
refuse to
like
go to
I
Texas.
know I have family over there. I'm just like fuck it. Y'all can come visit me in uh Arkansas or Oklahoma or something. I
Yeah,
don't give
go
a
around
fuck. It's just
Texas.
like nah, I'm not nah. I don't
Especially,
I don't want to be anywhere near Texas because of like all their political bullshit. I'm
yeah,
like,
I was about to say now,
I
yes,
don't want.
even now, there wouldn't even have to be, what is it? Leatherface. I would be like,
Yeah.
nah, it's the political political shit
Yeah.
storm that is Texas that I'm not even going to Texas.
Exactly. Nah, I ain't going anywhere
Oh
near that.
man. And that's the only
No,
way
thank
I would
you.
actually survive. That's literally how I would survive. Just don't go to fucking Texas. If it was filmed, if it was like in this day and age, not in the 70s or the 80s when it
Yeah.
was filmed,
Mhm.
but if it was done at this day and age, no. Like I would never go to Texas. I'd be like, no, I'm good. Gucci.
Absolutely.
Deuces. Bye. But yeah, that's my answer.
If somehow we were kidnapped and like forced to go there, I wouldn't survive. Otherwise, I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'd survive. I wouldn't be anywhere near that shit.
Exactly. If I am forced to be there, then yeah, I would not survive. But if I'm
Yeah.
not forced, then no, I wouldn't. I would survive.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh huh.
Because we ain't gonna be there.
Yeah, exactly. Damn right. Fuck that shit.
So I have a question for you, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you're like. I remember not really liking this movie at all. I was really disappointed in it. The Boy. Would you
Ugh.
survive The Boy?
Yeah, I would. But
How's it?
this is why. Okay, because the boy. So, because you think it's just like some possessed doll for a while, right? Spoilers up.
I was
Always.
so fucking disappointed that it wasn't.
Same. It wasn't. It's just some guy who lives in the walls who's like, you're
Yeah.
my new mommy now. Bitch, no, I never wanted kids. Bye.
Yeah.
And like, it's so excessive that his parents drowned themselves in a lake. Or was it a lake?
Yeah.
I think it was a lake. Or the ocean or something like that. They drowned themselves.
In a large body of water. I don't know if it was open water or if it was like landlocked.
Yeah. All I know is they drowned themselves because they're like, we don't even want to deal with our own son. And I'm just like, bruh. I would tuck in the doll and then I'd fucking leave. I would just leave. I'd be like, no.
Yeah.
He can take care of the doll himself. He's a grown ass man. And I get that he's like, I would, this is what I would do. If I realized that there was a man in the walls and I guess he's developmentally challenged, I would call the police and psychologists and be like, you need to come check this out because this would be fantastic for your research and
Yeah.
mental development. But that's because I'm a psychologist and I would say this is good research for someone's mental development. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that. I think that's the only reason why I would survive the boy. Because I'm just like,
Yeah, I think I would survive, but just because it's like it's a very easy and cushy job, in all honesty.
it is. It really
And
is.
I don't have, like, it's a routine. Hell yeah, I am
Mhm.
perfectly fine having an established routine.
That's
That's
true.
perfectly okay with me.
ADHD props.
Yep. But also, I don't have an abusive ex.
Oh, that's true. Mm-hmm. That would put you in such a position to do
Because
that.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. All right.
Established routine and non-abusive ex. Like, that's fine.
Oh God, Kumo. That's a hot take right there. Kumo. All right, here's a
Well, weren't they British? Wasn't she flown out to England?
Was it? I don't remember.
I get things mixed up. So like I feel like I'm kind of getting the Haunting of Bly Manor mixed in with the
Mm.
boy.
Mhm.
Um
I have a
but
good
I
film.
thought she was flown out. I thought she was in England.
I think you might be right. I think you might be right. So it's like, was it free healthcare? Come on, even better. Rice. I haven't seen that movie. Just going off Ricey's solution. Yeah. But
Yep, in a
if
remote English village.
okay,
Yep.
so if it's an English village, I would send the police and psychologists there, and I'd be like, you can take care of them. It's free healthcare. Boom. Bye. Even better. All right, here's a fun one. Would you survive tremors?
Absolutely.
Yeah. See, okay. Tremors, I feel like would
Get Reba.
Yes,
Get Kevin Bacon.
exactly.
Absolutely.
If
100%.
we had the team of Reba and Kevin Bacon, we're fine. We're absolutely fine.
Yeah, we're
Because
fine.
again,
We're Gucci.
yeah, because again, a lot of the decisions were smart decisions. It may not have followed
Yeah,
like it may not follow through because again, there were some accidents, but it was accidents that
yeah,
I feel like could happen to anybody. But the majority of the planning and the execution is very smart.
yeah.
Like it's very smart. And you have a good team of smart people. Fuck yeah. I'd survive
Yeah.
Tremors.
It was a learning curve, and if
It
you like
was.
continue to watch the series, it's like they get it down pat.
Yeah, and not only
They
that,
know
they adapt.
exactly how to handle it.
Not only that, they adapt to all the new monsters as well. Like the new
Yeah. Mhm.
evolution of those monsters. So,
Mhm.
like definitely, absolutely, definitely would. I know you'd like that one because I'm just like Tremors. Fuck yeah, Kevin
I
Bacon.
love
Fuck yeah.
Tremors. Fuck yeah, Reba, a hundred
Reba.
percent.
Yes, yes, yes,
Bow to
yes.
the goddess. Yep.
I abso-fucking-lutely.
Okay. ADHD. Sorry. I
No.
think the only way to make that movie better is if we had Reba and Dolly.
Oh
The only
my
way to make it better. It's
gosh.
already amazing and perfect, but like the only way to make it better is if we get Dolly.
Absolutely.
That's
Fuck
just
yeah.
my personal opinion.
No, that's true. Here's one. Do you think you'd survive Candyman? Like, let's say someone dares you to say Candyman and you didn't know what's going on. You think you'd survive it?
Probably not.
Hmm.
If I was a teenage self, more prone to like peer pressure and things like that, it's like probably not because I would actually do Candyman in the mirror.
I
Um,
see. That's the thing. I couldn't even do Bloody Mary in the mirror. I was so scared of what could happen. Because again, I don't fuck with
mhm,
spirits, right? I think that we
yeah,
had a dare to do it, and I was like, I chickened out on the dare, so I'd probably chicken out on Candyman as well. I'd be like, no, thank
it's
you.
hard to know because it's like the reason I can do Bloody Mary was because it's like there's no proof that Bloody Mary exists. There's never been any kind of like
Hmm.
all the stories are in very specific locations that happen to like very specific asylums or houses or institutes that
Yeah.
that occurred. So it's like if I'm not in those places, sure. And I feel like Candyman was a prevalent thing, like Bloody Mary, but people have actually been like, "Oh yeah, like they ended up dead." Unlike Bloody Mary where it's just like she comes out and gives you like scares the piss out of you.
Hmm.
Um
I see. I wouldn't.
if there were actual stories of like, "Oh yeah, this person died because they played Candyman or whatnot," then I probably wouldn't, and that's how I would survive. But
Yeah.
if it's just like another lore like Bloody Mary, I would probably do it, fuck around and find out, and I would die.
See, I can see that. Like again, I was teased a lot because
Yeah,
I was a chicken, and I'm like, all right, tease me. I'd rather be teased than dead.
yeah.
So if they're like, oh yeah, like when you say it's like, oh yeah, if you say this in the mirror, Bloody Mary's gonna come out. It's like, then why the fuck would I say it in a mirror? I don't want to find out. If
Yeah.
you think that's gonna happen, then that's good on you. I ain't doing that shit. I think I did Bloody Mary once, and I was terrified that I did it. Like I think it was like a sleepover at the school that we had, like a lock in. We had a
Yeah,
lock in at our school. I think I did
yeah.
it once, or I chickened out or something, and I was terrified that I even did it. I was like, fuck that, never again. And I'm like, I would never do
Y-
Candyman for that reason because they're like, oh, you can call upon the ghost of Candyman or whatever if you say his name 5 times. Why the hell would I do that? I ain't stupid enough to try and like again. We just don't fuck with spirits. I don't fuck with spirits. Why the fuck would I do that? That's the only way I know I would survive Candyman. I'd
Yep.
just be like, oh, it's an urban legend. I don't care. I am going to test it. Me? Fuck nah.
It would just
Fuck nah.
depend because it's like, oh, it's like there have been reports all over the country of Candyman killing people in like their homes and stuff. I probably wouldn't do it. But
Mm-hmm.
if it's like, oh, it's he's only restricted to New York, well, in Alabama, I might. I might.
Yeah.
Um, but like again with Bloody Mary, it's like she is limited to very specific locations.
Mm-hmm.
Even when like Supernatural did their episode with a Bloody Mary character.
Yeah.
It wasn't actually Bloody Mary. It was like a very similar situation. She was limited to like a specific town.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I think that's, yeah. But that's the only reason I would do it, or, you know, all that. Okay, we only have a few more left that I
okay.
have listed. So, here's another good one. Do you think you'd survive It Follows? Like, I feel like that's an easy one.
The STD one.
Yes.
Um, yeah, I feel like I would survive it because I don't mess around.
That's exactly it. I was like, I don't mess around. So, yeah, I think
Yeah,
I would survive It Follows.
yeah.
And that's the only reason, because I'm
And
just because
even
I'm
then,
like,
that
I have
doesn't.
my one husband and I'm good.
Yeah, even then, that doesn't fully cure it, right? That it still kind
No,
of lingers around.
the moment you have it for life. You just
Yeah,
gotta be lower on the chain of command, essentially, before it could ever touch
yeah,
you. Um, and I think that's the only reason that I think it would work out as well,
yeah.
personally. What about The Mist?
I actually have seen The Mist. I don't know. I think what would actually end up killing me is mob mentality.
Yes, I agree.
I think I have enough sense to like go inside and stay inside kind of bullshit. Possibility of the giant thing stepping on my home is still a probability, but I think specifically with the Mist, I think what would end up killing me is the mob mentality.
Mm, I agree. So let's say we were stuck in that grocery store, right?
Yeah.
I feel like, because again, if we're holding out for days that we don't even know, like when the people are coming, like when the army is coming and all that.
Yeah, we don't have any concept of what's happening, where this is came come from. It's like how badly is the rest of the world affected by this?
Yes,
Yeah.
more than likely, I would gather my own snacks and lock myself in like the manager's office or the janitor's closet or something and
I'd
wait it
lock
out
myself
there.
in the fucking bathroom, ma'am. I
Yeah.
don't want access to.
Oh, that's true. I'll pee in a bucket in the janitor's closet. No, but in reality, I would, because with that, I feel like in any kind of situation like that, it's the
Yeah.
mob mentality that will get you. Like it is,
Yep.
because people would be
Hmm.
so scared that when they're scared, you'll do stupid things. Like people do stupid
Which I
things when you're
feel
scared.
like is an underappreciated horror aspect that people
Agreed.
don't talk about. Is
Agreed.
that like I think that's what makes The Purge so terrifying is on a grand scale the mob mentality.
True. Which would you survive the purge?
I don't know. I legitimately don't know.
So
I don't think I have any enemies that bad, but again, I don't really know.
this is, I feel like, the only way I could survive the purge
Mm-hmm.
is, you know, those like underground bunkers.
Mm-hmm.
I would be there in a heartbeat. I would create an underground bunker hidden away from the world. Or you know what? I'd survive in that well in my back of my house. Dry it out, be in a hole forever, and boom, done. Uh,
You would be like, move over, ghost. This is
this
our well
is
now.
our well now. And I'd be like, boom, done. Because I would seriously, like, I would create a bunker for that
Yeah.
reason, an underground bunker hidden by a bunch of leaves or something, and like hide out. Because I wouldn't be able to survive out in the world, because they're like, oh, crime is, free for 24 hours. You can do whatever the shit you want. I would not resort to murder as a crime,
Yeah.
personally. I would probably steal a bunch of shit and be like, I bet this is my Christmas gifts for everybody next year. And then they're like, oh, how
Legitimate.
did you get it? Oh, I got it for the purge, Like, People
How
think
can
so
you
small.
afford all of this stuff
Oh, that's a great question.
on a budget?
I was about to say that's a great question, Timmy. I did this during the purge. Like I would make the purge like the greatest like shopping, quote unquote shopping, and I wouldn't steal from mom and pop shops. I would steal from
Yeah.
Amazon warehouses because we have some in like Alabama, right? Like we have an Amazon
Yeah, we have
warehouse
a
in Alabama.
few.
Yeah. So I'd go to fucking Amazon warehouse and I would steal shit from there and be like, I bet, boom, bye. That's how I would do the purge. Get all the shit I always wanted through Amazon. They're a billion.
That's
They're,
fair.
I was gonna say they're a $1 trillion company. They'll be fine. But I don't understand how people are like murder. Murder? No, I'm good. I'm
Yeah,
good.
like I understand like the plots, like what drives the plot for the Purge franchise, but like I like on a day-to-day life, I don't see that actually happening.
Of what?
Like the reason like making enemies and that's why they come and
Oh
try and kill
yeah.
you, and then like political like leaders are
Mm-hmm.
like trapped in the purge and it's an assassination attempt.
I feel like, and this is my personal thing. I feel like it's the rich who would try to kill each other.
Yeah, I feel like I'm too broke for that shit.
Exactly. I feel like maybe this is just me. I feel like the poor would steal because that would be the only day of
Yeah,
the year that you can finally try and get income and get out of debt and everything.
yeah,
But again, in the later films, it's actually like the rich that are controlling the poor to kill each other, to like population control or whatever. But if we gather against the rich people, like if the poor people gather during just to for the rich people,
yeah.
they would be terrified. Like I know rich people would be absolutely terrified. So they might just kill each other.
Oh, so you mean a bad day in France?
Yes. Yes. Exactly what I mean. Anarchy. Sorry. Sorry. Uh, but yes, that is what I also believe. I think would happen. Um, at least in my personal opinion. And I think that's all I have listed so far. If do you have any in mind? Because I was trying to go for like
I just
classic
have a
ones that I.
couple in mind because you haven't really touched on anything super paranormal.
You wonder
So
why?
something,
Mm,
he would be out of there in a heartbeat. So something like, Final Destination.
I die.
No, because death always comes for his person.
Yeah, I die.
Also, on top of that, to extend your life, you have to sacrifice someone else's life.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, even then, that's.
I still fucking die.
I mean, unless we want to talk about more ethics and stuff, it's like
I think
I can't exactly justify
I was
that.
about to say. I think they tried to even touch on that in the later films of the shit. I already blanked on the name of that film.
Final
Final
Destination.
Destination. Thank you. I think they even played a little bit on the ethics of Final Destination. Like, do we just kill like an old man or a sick person or something like that? But
Yeah,
they remedied that by like, okay, let's say you killed a sick person, you just take on their number of days, so you would still die, kind of thing, or an old
yeah.
person. So it's like that. So
So now, like, it's one of those things. It's like now, do you become a serial killer? Like, what's going on with that?
no, because it's like if you kill someone, you just trade their like the time
Yeah,
that you lived for theirs. That's it.
yeah.
However, can I just point out that
Mhm.
Final Destination just proves Death just sucks at his job. That's it. And he's using people to be like, all right, I gotta make up the numbers because y'all should have been dead already, and I fucked it up. That's what I feel like. Like I fucked up
I
Death,
don't think
bro.
he fucked it up. I think it's on the psychics or the prophets, whatever you want to call them.
Oh yes, yes,
Um, because they're the ones that are hindering his list and his plan.
that's true. But can you imagine Death being like, God dang it, another psychic just ruined my job for me. Y'all making me look bad, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I just feel like Death would just be so annoyed it'd be comical. That's it.
Like I think that's why like the deaths as like the series progresses just get more and more violent.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. She just gets more and more annoyed.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
Um, so at least we both agree that we would not survive.
Yeah.
Death comes for who he wants.
Yeah.
Then there is uh my sister pronounced it with the Spanish pronunciation every single time, and it's Oveja. It's Ouija, the
Oh,
Ouija board
the
movie.
the Luigi
So
board.
she always says Oveja. And so that's the
Oh,
only
yeah.
thing I can think of when seeing that word now.
Okay, so I would survive the Luigi board because I would never touch a Luigi board. That's why.
The
And
Momiji?
the Momiji board. I seriously, this is why I have heard horror stories in my family about
Hmm.
Luigi boards. Again, this is why I
Yeah.
don't fuck with spirits. I just don't do it.
Yep.
So if they're like, I swear, if any of my friends come in to my house and say, let's play with this, a Luigi board, I'd be like, get the fuck out of my house. Don't you dare bring any spirits in my house. In my house? Bitch, get on. Get the fuck out of here. Away with you.
So my
I would burn
parents
it.
have never told me not to mess with a linguini board.
Yeah.
The only time I've ever heard any stories about it, outside of like media and stuff, was from an like he wasn't retired, but he was old. He was like in his 60s. He was like my Bible teacher for like
Mm.
11th and 12th grade, or like 10th, 11th, 12th grade. I don't remember. But for like my upper classes in high school. And he's like an experienced pastor. He went to school for it. It's
Hmm.
like he didn't feel fake. He didn't feel like a fake pastor.
Hmm.
You know that
Hmm.
you, Ricey, as a Christian, understand what I'm talking about.
No, I know
He didn't
exactly
feel
what
like a
you're talking
fake
about. Hmm.
pastor. He talked about one time one of his um someone in his Congress, like what is it,
Congregation?
the audience.
Yeah, the
I don't remember.
congregation.
Like I haven't gone to church in so fucking long. Um, that they had messed with a linguini board,
Tortellini board?
and a charcuterie board.
Yeah.
Anything but. So apparently they were having an experience, and he had gone over and had seen some stuff happen,
Yeah.
and had to kind of like cleanse the house
Yeah.
for her
I'm
because
just
she
like,
had fucked with something and didn't know what to do.
mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. Why the fuck would you literally have a one-on-one connection with the spirit text line? No, thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Again, not dissing on the mediums who know how to use it. If y'all know how to use it, fucking that's fine. Like if y'all want to use it,
But
I was
it's
about to
not a
say the
toy.
spirit text line. Go ahead. And I hate that they market it as a toy because it's not a fucking toy. It's not. Like stop. Get help.
Yeah.
Especially for those who are just unskilled when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Because again, like I said, there are some mediums and like psychics who do use the board and they know how to use the board and everything.
Hmm.
But then you have like stupid people who think all they want is a good scare. Bitch, you're gonna get one and it's gonna follow you for the
Let's
rest of your
just
fucking
be
life.
honest. It's usually white people.
I ain't saying
It's
shit.
not exclusively,
just like-
but a good 98% of the time, it's dumb white people.
I'm just saying. I'll just say people. Like, yeah, don't do it. Don't fucking do it. And don't even do it in a cemetery. Like, stop with that. Stop with that. I just don't fuck with spirits again, because my family, I told you, like they had some members of our extended family had dealt with that, and they're like, you cannot. It is not a toy, and they told me to respect those that you can use it. That's them. But you, me being me, they're like, you cannot play with this. This is not a toy. And I was like, I bet. I ain't playing with that shit. Never had. So that's that's how I would survive the spirit text line. That's how I would survive. That's all. Wouldn't do it. Not for a million things in the world. Mm-mm.
Yeah, no, like hell no, just
Fuck that.
no. There's
Mm-mm.
so much no.
Um.
So,
Yeah. Keep going.
would you survive paranormal activity?
Fuck no. Well, yes. Yes. And this is why.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
If the spirit is, let's say the spirit is not attached to me, it is attached to the house. You bet your bottom dollar I'm calling every priest and pastor and preacher in the neighborhood, exorcist, to get that shit out. I will cleanse my house,
May-
or I would sell it. I would sell it. But if it was attached to me, if it was attached to me, I'd be like, I would go to every priest and priest and pastor and
Have
preacher.
you seen the Paranormal Activity franchise?
I have. Isn't it attached to one of the twins because they played with the Luigi board or something, or they called it in
No,
America?
it's a family curse. It's because the grandmother fucking offered up like their firstborn child.
Oh shit! It was a family curse like that. No, I thought it was. I didn't know it was a
Yeah,
family curse.
yeah.
Oh shit! Then no. I'd probably
It
curse the
was their
family. I would curse my my previous family
so
for that
like
shit.
I don't think it was the grandmother. It's like you don't fully like understand what it's
But
after until later in the movies, but it kind of does brush over it in the very first movie.
remember what
So
the.
it's
Go ahead.
Katie, I think, is the girl we follow in the first movie,
Hmm.
and it's haunting her.
Yeah.
And so when it kills her boyfriend and she disappears, she goes and kidnaps her nephew, which
Yes.
is the
Hmm.
firstborn male son of that family in like 8 generations.
Hmm.
And I can't remember if you get that snippet in the first movie or the second movie. And I think it is like
I think it's the
exposition in the
second.
second movie
I think it's the second movie. Yeah.
because they're in the pool
Hmm.
and the pool is over at the sister's house. Like, so and then we get like Paranormal Activity 3 that goes back in time and kind of like establishes the son's mom,
Hmm.
like the nephew's mom, so like the sister, because it's like each person is like a main character in each of the movies, so it's like
Right.
who we're talking about.
Hmm.
She has a connection with Toby, and then somehow it's transferred over to Katie, who's
Ah.
our main
Okay.
character in the
Hmm.
first
Hmm.
movie. And so, like, that's what Paranormal Activity is. It's just the entire line of getting
But
the son.
remember what, in the beginning of this podcast, I said only the first film. We're only thinking of the first
Yeah.
film.
But
So
it's still stated at the end of Paranormal Activity 1 that Katie disappears
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
that she had kidnapped her son. Or not her son, her nephew.
So I would
So
say
why would she
this.
kidnap her nephew?
Yeah, but that again, we're just focusing on the first.
I
Because
mean, you've
my
got a
thing is,
nephew.
yes, I
You've got
do.
a nephew.
But I would say this. I would say that the reason why she kidnapped her nephew is because she was possessed. That was it. That is to
Yes.
the extent of my knowledge as a person who only saw the first film. So again, if that was a situation, let's say I was their neighbor or some shit. Right? I'm not
Oh, okay.
Katie, but I'm their neighbor. I would be like,
Hmm.
because you remember in the first film too, they had a maid that burned sage and stuff. And you know what she did? I think did he kill her off or something? Because she was
No,
smart
she didn't. No, that was the second one.
for the Spanish lady
She
who
was in
burned
the
the
second.
sage.
Yep, she was in the second movie.
They did they? Oh shit! Then she doesn't count because she was smart. She was like, "All right, I sense there is something in this house. I'm gonna burn shit. I'm gonna like try and cleanse this thing because that's the smart." She fucking knew. She been fucking knew, and all she needed to do was get the fuck out. Which she tried, but I think they killed her anyway. Which duh.
No, I think she was maimed, but I don't think she was killed.
See, let me look this up because I swear if she survived,
You,
because I think I do remember her saying I'm not going to be a part of it, like I'm not going in here anymore, and she left. She booked it.
yeah, she was in the second movie.
Smart decision, and she was a Latina lady because we fucking know, we fucking know, we don't mess with that shit. We don't deal with that. I just bruh. Let me see.
So, from an outside perspective, yeah, we would not get in the middle of that. We would not try and like stop Toby from taking the boy. But if it was you in the main character role, would you survive?
Yes. Because again, they only started seeing this when they were in the house, right? So if this was true, because it was, they thought the house was what was possessed, which in reality, I would think so too. I wouldn't have thought that it would be me. And disregarding the sequels, okay? Disregarding that for a second.
mm,
If it was just a house, because again, it was when they went to the house that all this started happening, I would try and cleanse the house and or burn the house down and collect the insurance in some way. Because duh. I do not fuck with spirits. If there is a haunted house,
not,
if there was a haunted house for
I,
sale, I'd be like, no, thank you. Moving on. I don't care if it's like the prettiest thing ever. I just won't do that. Mm-mm. No, thank you.
no, I don't. I think no, 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 no. I don't think. I don't think it's when they moved in. I think they'd already been living there for a while and they were having problems starting to arise. I
I
don't think it was a new move.
I also would, yeah, I also would agree that because the husband, I think it was a new move.
I don't think so.
Hold on. Oops. I think the husband also would piss me the fuck off. Cause
Okay, legitimate, fair. And I don't
yes,
think he was a husband. I think he was a boyfriend, like a long-term boyfriend.
let's see, young
I think
couple.
they
Yeah,
were. I think the sister
here it is.
was married in the second one. So like Katie's sister was married. I don't think Katie was married.
Hmm.
I think they were just boyfriends.
So it says here on Wikipedia, because Wikipedia is never wrong.
Hmm.
Young couple Katie and Micah, so they were a couple, moved to a new house in San Diego. So they didn't. It was a new move. Katie claims that evil presence has been haunting her since she was a child, so Micah set up a camera in their bedroom to record any paranormal activity that occurs when they sleep. She visits
So it wasn't
psychics.
like a new haunt.
No,
It's a prolonged haunt.
right. And she says it feeds off negative energy and is intent on tormenting her and not to communicate with the demon without a demonologist. But Micah was the one who films and seeks it out and tries to like. Oh, and he's Micah, who is the husband or boyfriend or whatever, also was the one who brought
Yeah.
the tortellini board to the fucking place.
Yeah, he did.
Which
did.
aggravated it. So
Yep,
first of
he
all,
did. She straight up told him like don't bring it in here and that he brought it in and it ended up being like burned into like their table or something.
exactly. Like I would be like, divorce him. He doesn't care about your fucking feelings.
Nah,
He
ma'am,
sees
at
you.
this point we are dealing with a supernatural demon. We've been told it's a demon by demonologists and stuff. It's just
Oh
like
no,
nah.
he said to
It's
seek
just
out.
like I know you want a firstborn son. Here, have my dumbass spouse.
No, because he was like, he's like advises unless you talk to a demonologist, and I don't think they ever did because Micah was like, fuck that. I'm gonna record this for like movie gold or
Actually,
some shit.
they pronounce it Mika.
Oh, Mika, my bad. But Mika's a
Yeah.
fucking idiot.
No, it's spelled Micah. It's pronounced Mika.
So that's how I would survive. I would divorce Mika. I would go to the demonologist and I'd be like, my husband or boyfriend or whatever is a fucking
Spouse,
idiot.
this
Spouse
dumbass
is literally taunting this fucking demon that's attached to me, disregarding all my feelings. Please detach this demon from me and tell him to fuck off. Boom. Oh, it says here too. Outside intervention is unavailable as the demonologist is out of the country and Dr. Fredericks is afraid of making the demon angrier. Because guess what? It was Mika who did all this shit. Fuck Mika.
Yeah.
Like, fuck Mika. And I would fly. I would fucking fly to a country with a demonologist that could help me. Because this is some bullshit.
Yep.
Like that is some fucking bullshit. And Mika, it's literally that fucking dude's fault for doing this. I hope he's fucking
Ricey's got the hookup, y'all.
hook up with what? I like how Ricey has all these people.
Demonologists, priests,
Okay.
mental health professionals.
You soon to forget. Oh, Kumo, you may not know this. I actually do have connections. I actually do have connections because my dad is a pastor, and I have met with people who. Was this weird to say? who have performed exorcisms and shit like that in the majority of my lifetime, if that makes any sense. So not to say that I don't have them on call, but I do have connections to help me. Like I said,
Yeah.
we don't fuck with spirits. We just don't fuck with spirits, bruh. Bruh. Fuck no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. So, that's how I know I would survive. Because again, I don't fuck around. And if Mika or my husband or whatever, if I was Katie and Mika brought in a Luigi board, I'd get the fuck out. I'd get up and I'd be like, all right, demon, let's go. Fuck this dude. And bounce.
Yep.
Get on a plane and bounce. Divorce him, break up with him, whatever. Fuck that dude.
Yeah.
No.
Nah, you're taking it too easy. It's just like, here, demon, like I know you want a guy. I know you want a guy. Let me hook you up with a guy. Look
You
at
want my
this
husband?
bimbo.
He's like
Look
literally,
at this dumbass.
yeah, he's trying to call you.
And
Like
he's experienced.
yeah,
Like I know you like him young, but this guy's experienced.
he is
though,
experienced. Like
so
he's trying to get in touch with you. Like, come on. He's trying to slide into your
he wants
DMs.
that connection.
Yeah, he wants to slide into
Here,
your
like,
DMs.
take Mika until like nephew is like of legal age.
Yeah. Like,
Actually, wait until he's 21 and then y'all can get turned together. So like, here, just take him for a while.
my goodness. Like, ugh, Mika. Mika. Ugh, makes me mad. Because I remember I saw Paranormal Activity with a bunch of friends.
Yeah.
Because again, I will not watch that shit alone. Because it is kind of scary
Fair.
in terms of spirit. I watched Mika and I really hated him. Because I was
He
like,
was
you
an
are
ass.
so... Go ahead.
The actor played an ass very,
So
very
well. He was a stupid
But
asshole.
goddamn Mika, holy fuck.
He was a stupid asshole who literally
Mm-hmm.
just did this for himself and his thrills because he's a white boy. He wanted to get like shit
Mm-hmm.
on camera. Oh my god. So fuck Mika. We're gonna end the stream with just a big old fuck Mika. But yes, I hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. I definitely had fun with this one. I always feel like Halloween, around the Halloween time,
Mhm.
it just gives you just a lot of fun things to do with horror films or games or any kind of horror
Yeah.
media. And I really appreciate that. I loved last year's. I loved this year's kind of thing. I don't think I would ever be like the final girl because
Yeah.
I would be the bitch who would be like, fuck this and leave the group kind of thing. And that would be me. That would be me in most situations. And I guess just like with you, Abby, we're introverts.
Yeah.
We'll do introverted things. We're not extroverts. We're like,
Yeah, if we were together in like situations, it's just like I'm bouncing. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm coming with you.
yeah, we're gonna like bounce. We're like, I am about the shit. Bye.
Deuces.
Yeah, deuces. And you would understand. And you know, all those other characters is like, why are you leaving? Especially if it's like a house party or something, or there's like a slasher
Yeah.
thing. And like, where are you leaving? Sir, no thank you. I'm good.
I would tease you, but you would be like, I'm getting a bad vibe, and like, all right, I'm coming with you.
Yeah, I'd be like, no. Mm-mm. If I say, if you or I talk to each other and we're like, I have a bad gut feeling about this. All right. We would both be like, I trust your gut feelings. I trust yours.
All
Let's
right,
get the
let's
fuck
go.
out of here. Yeah. Let's get the fuck out of
like,
here.
I'd shit on you the entire time we're leaving. but
Obviously,
it's just
same,
like,
same. I'd shit on you too, but I would still follow. I'd still follow.
Yep.
I know. Like we'd always shit on each
100%.
other. Always shit on each other, but we'd still follow each other.
Yep.
Oh gosh. All right. So who are you?
I am Abmiki Ree. I would end up, dying 50% of the time.
Yep. True.
And you can find me and my dumbass on Twitter at Abmiki Ree, spelled the same way I chatted it, so you can find me. And you can find me carrying Ricey and Chelzor's ass in Phasmophobia, like last night.
I would be. Wait, who am I? I am this. A bowl of icy.
You
Hoi.
hear this?
Yeah. Sorry, I have several
hoi.
things. Hoi. And you can find me on Twitch by that name. I'm going to be streaming for a while until next Friday, in which case I will stop streaming for a while for surgery reasons. I'm so terrified. Um,
You're fine.
which
I'll be
also, I should also preface this by saying we are going to be kind of on a flexible schedule depending on the healing process because I'm getting both my upper and lower jaw broken and placed neatly so that my teeth can be in place, that kind of surgery. Jaw surgery, right?
yeah.
So if I do not feel well, I may not be able to stream the podcast, not in the next 2 weeks, but even 3 weeks, depending on how the healing processes go for me. It really depends. Because my face is going to be like swollen like a little chipmunk. Chipmunk face. So please be aware of that. And so we're going to try and do like a flexible schedule, depending.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. But yes. Oh, and where can you find? Hold on.
Who are we? We are What's Your Opinion Podcast. You can find us on Twitter under What's Your Opinion.
Hey, oh, we did both.
Ayo.
Ayo.
Jinx. And y'all can hit us up there if y'all have any horror movies that you want to know if we would survive in, or just let us know if you think you could survive in a horror film. You can hit us up there and let us know, or let us know other topics you'd like to hear us talk about and what our opinions are on it. And then you can find us here on Sundays at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time.
Yeah.
Because there's no hope for me having any kind of internet on Saturdays.
Yeah, I was about to say Sundays have been working really, really well for us, for sure.
Yeah.
But thank you guys so much for joining.
Everyone's in church.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, well, thank you guys so much for watching. Honestly, sorry for the long hiatus, but once we come back, it's gonna be the new holiday season, and we've got a lot of, or at least I got a lot of plans for the holiday to talk about and stuff like that, because it's gonna be Christmas. Well, I want to say Thanksgiving, but
Yeah,
Thanksgiving and
completely
Christmas.
skipping over the most important holiday.
I can't even enjoy it. I'm so sad. New voice Ricey. I'm so terrified, Kumo, because I was telling Abby, what if I sound more annoying than I already do?
It's gonna be,
I'd ruined the podcast.
it's gonna be fine.
Okay,
It's
sorry.
gonna be
Yeah,
fine.
I'm panicking for no reason. All right, bye everybody. Have a good week and next 2
Bye.
weeks. Yeah, everyone have a good next 2 week
Bye.
and a happy Halloween, spooky season. Happy Halloween, everybody. All right, bye.
Bye bye.